The battle against inflation is stalling. Why is this last phase proving to be the hardest hurdle yet for the US economy? Today, I'm diving into the October inflation numbers and why prices aren't dropping as quickly as we'd like. Let's break it down. First up, the Core Consumer Price Index, or CPI, due on Wednesday, is projected to rise at the same pace as in September. That's right, no major changes here. This core CPI excludes food and energy, so we're looking at the more stable parts of the economy. Overall, CPI probably ticked up by 0.2% for the fourth month in a row. And here's the kicker. The year-over-year measure is expected to accelerate for the first time since March. Wells Fargo economists Sarah House and Aubrey Wersner point out that the last leg of the inflation journey is often the toughest. Excluding volatile components like energy and food, the unwinding of pandemic-era price distortions is moving at a snail's pace. They also note that prices of core goods likely rose again in October. Why? Higher demand for cars and auto parts after Hurricanes Helene and Milton played a role. Plus, evacuation orders led to more people staying in hotels, adding pressure to service prices. Bloomberg Economics expects both CPI and PPI to remain strong, pushing long-end rates higher and further restraining the economy over the next few months. They predict retail sales will slow and the unemployment rate will climb to 4.5% by year-end. Even so, Fed Chair Jerome Powell reminds us that inflation is coming down, albeit on a bumpy path. One or two bad reports won't derail this trend. The US government will also release wholesale inflation figures this week, which likely picked up after stalling in September. Meanwhile, earnings growth continues to outpace inflation, likely boosting retail sales in data due Friday. On Tuesday, Fed Governor Christopher Waller speaks at a banking conference. Later in the week, Powell and other key Fed officials will also make appearances. Shifting gears, Canada's home sales data for October will show if rate cuts are jolting the sluggish housing market. And a packed week for data includes economic numbers from China, wage and growth stats from the UK, and multiple inflation readings from India to Argentina. China's data at the end of the week might show marginal economic improvement, but it underscores the need for broad stimulus steps President Xi Jinping has undertaken. In Europe, new forecasts, GDP numbers, and sentiment indices will be released, providing insights into the region's economic health. Central banks from Japan to Sweden will also be in the spotlight with their monetary policy updates. Russia's data will likely show an economic contraction for the first time since war-related fiscal stimulus began. And don't forget, we'll see inflation data from countries like Norway, Nigeria, and Israel. In conclusion, the journey back to the Fed's inflation target is proving to be uneven and slow. October's numbers highlight the challenges ahead, but the overall trend remains downward. Thanks for tuning in to Make Dollars Online. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tips on building your wealth. Stay smart, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.